Thanks for joining us for another half hour of local news, starting with a live look at Mount Hood on this Tuesday evening. And while the sunshine has been beautiful up on the mountain all day, the snowpack and ski season have been looking pretty bleak.
Yeah, Timberline, for example, has a base of only like 3 feet, which
Ouch.
is way below where we're usually at this time of year. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri is live for us this evening. Joe, been a pretty rough winter so far.
Yeah, rough is probably a good way to describe it. Also bleak as well, David and Christine. Right now, as it stands, we're looking at the second lowest snowpack on record, only trailing the winter of 1981, according to a local hydrologist I spoke with. And you look at across the state, and everybody is in the red with snowpack because of just how dry it's been. We haven't seen a major snowstorm hit the Oregon Cascades in at least 2 weeks, and that's going to be the case here over the next several days, too. When it comes to snow in the Cascades, you're going to have your good years and, of course,
statewide, snowpack is pretty poor.
Your bad years. This winter is shaping up to be a bad one.
Snowpack is at its second lowest level on record, dating back to 1981, which set the record low.
Matt Warbriton is a hydrologist with the Natural Resources Conservation Service. He says the entire state is running below normal for snowpack.
Hanging around 37% of normal for the Mount Hood. That includes the Sandy Basin and also the lower Deschutes Basin.
Currently, there's a base of only 38 inches outside Timberline Lodge. On average, the base should be over 8 feet by this time of January. Instead of gliding over fresh powder, skiers and snowboarders are dodging exposed rock.
We're seeing the greatest deficits at the highest elevations, where we expect, even during years like this, to possibly have more robust snowpack, but temperatures have been abnormally warm.
Over the last several days, the mountains have been seeing temperatures soar into the upper 50s, even 60 degrees last week.
As we go further into the season, what we can say now is that we're more reliant on larger storm systems to bring more significant snow accumulation.
Now, as we head into the later part of this month and the rest of winter,
it's an extremely important water source. Across the West, snowmelt makes up about 50% of the water supply.
We can only hope we start seeing things turn around. And let's hope things do turn around here soon. Now keep in mind, you guys, we're still in a La Nina weather pattern, which means cooler and wet conditions, although we really haven't seen much of that here the last almost 2 weeks or so. But there have been winters we've seen that come February and the early part of spring where it's robust and snowstorms do move through heading into the later part of March, if not beyond. Hopefully things do kind of turn a corner over the next few weeks. Back to you guys.
You know, you're right. Number of years where we've made up that snowpack in February, March. Thank you,
right.
Joe.
Well, let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Matt Zafito now with an update and some context on the mountain. Matt?
Yeah, that's right, David. So I was skiing this weekend, and I skied over that. You recognize that?
Ouch.
Yeah, that's mud.
How are your skis doing?
They're okay. You'll see. There they are. There are my skis.
Gingerly stepping.
Just gingerly stepping across the mud. But wait, as I tilt the camera up, you'll see that it looks really pretty good on the other side of the mud patch. So here we go. It's going to lift up, and then, you know, look, there's skiers, there's boarders, and it was super fun. And when it's sunny like this, I mean, it's hard to complain, even though we absolutely need more snow. But there is skiing to be had. It's just limited. The crews up there are doing their best to make it as good as they possibly can. Now, I'm going to show you some data from January 15th, so 5 days ago, right? We are at 40% of average at Timberline, Meadows 49% of average, White Pass, and Mount Rainier also only about 40 to 50% of average. Then I looked at the 4 worst years at Timberline Lodge, and they were all 3 of the 4 were weak El Niños, which is not what we have right now. We're in a weak La Nina. It's trending towards a no Nino at the moment, so I don't think there's that much of a signal going on. But these are all really low years. So here's 40 inches right here, okay, on the graph. They were all hovering down there, and then around the middle of February to the middle of March, 3 of those 4 years really shot up. In 2014, 2015, that's the last one, we got up over 170 inches. Of course, that was in the middle of April. Point is, it may just end up being a late season. Sometimes they go that way. Now, one of the years that's not on the map here was the winter of 1972-73. On February 1st, Timberline only had 12 inches of snow. So my point is this. We've done this before. We've had bad years. There's always going to be good years and bad years when you're talking about weather, snowpack, and skiing. And the point is, there is hope that this turns around late in the season. In fact, some of these years we saw really ramp up in April and even May. That's when we saw our deepest snowpack. So We just have to be patient, guys. Back to you.
I love the optimism. Thanks, Matt.
In an update this evening, Portland police are still searching for the suspect. Authorities say shot and injured 2 officers in Northeast Portland last night. One officer was shot twice, police say, the other once. We understand one of them with 7 years on the force is now out of the hospital, while the other, a 17-year PPB veteran, is still undergoing care but is stable. This all began last night, authorities say, when police got a call about someone being threatened by a man with a knife. When officers arrived, they found the suspect along Northeast Clackamas between 16th and 17th. That is when they say the man fired gunshots. Authorities cordoned off blocks of the neighborhood for hours overnight and asked residents to stay inside with their doors and windows locked.
Hope he's not in this neighborhood anymore. It makes me feel really scared though.
I know the fear and uncertainty you're feeling right now is very real. While we haven't apprehended the suspect responsible, we want to assure you that we have dedicated homicide detectives and officers assigned to this case, and we will pursue all leads to bring this person into custody as quickly as possible.
Police described the suspect as a white man in his 30s with facial hair, wearing a black hat, jacket, and pants, and a gray hoodie with a black backpack. PPB is now asking anyone with security or doorbell camera video in the area to upload all raw video saved on their systems. Straight ahead on KGW News, how a quick donation turned into a nightmare. The warning about using tap to pay on the street.
Plus, another scam alert to tell you about, this time about fake tickets for the Seahawks big game. We're back in just a couple minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
To a consumer alert now with what appeared to be a harmless donation request near Lumen Field over the weekend, one that turned into a costly lesson.
Madison Wade explains.
This happened to someone over the weekend outside of Lumen Field. What they thought was a $5 donation turned into multiple charges. Now they're out thousands of dollars. The AG's office has been trying to stop this type of scam.
This post on Reddit is sparking quite the conversation, warning others to avoid being scammed. The poster says they were approached leaving a bar near Lumen Field this weekend by a few people asking for donations to a charity. The poster wrote, "I agreed to donate $5, but they said my card declined, so I offered another. Turns out they didn't decline, and they just kept charging me. Ultimately, I ended up with multiple $800 charges on my cards for trying to donate $5 to kids playing basketball." According to the Washington State Attorney General's office, this scenario is becoming increasingly common.
We've seen people who thought they were donating $20 to a charity, and turns out their bank statements were withdrawn for almost $5,000 and not for a charity. And so it's really important that people stay very mindful of these sorts of tactics.
The Attorney General recently issued a consumer alert warning about scams involving tap to pay and card donations.
It's probably easy to fall for that.
Some people in Pioneer Square, like Flavio Kaplan, were unaware of this kind of scam, and they're grateful to learn about the danger.
My intuition would be that with tap to pay you will have some kind of protection, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, better cash.
A couple fell victim to this kind of scam on December 5th in downtown Seattle. 3 men were selling these CDs for what they called a local charity. They only accepted tap to pay. A $5 donation turned into $1,500 charged to their card. The Attorney General's office says you should avoid donating via tap to pay to people you don't know. Always review payment details before approaching a transaction and research charities through official databases.
The AG's office is tracking this type of scam, hoping it doesn't happen to anyone else. But if it has happened to you, you can report this online. We have more information on our website, king5.com. In Seattle, Madison Wade, King 5 News.
Okay, speaking of scams, Seahawks fans should watch out for fake tickets being sold for Sunday's NFC Championship game. At this point, most tickets are only available through resale, and the team is encouraging fans to only go through authorized sellers.
And here's something else. The Seahawks say tickets are entirely digital, so if anyone tries to sell you a physical ticket, guess what? It's fake. As of this morning, the cheapest resale ticket on Ticketmaster hovering around $800. Kickoff 3:30 on Sunday. Still some time to find a way to get a seat, you know?
Yeah, or watch it at home, what have you. I remember, I think when was the last time they won the NFC Championship? Was that 2014 or?
I think that's when they won the Super Bowl. And the only reason I remember that is I was at my brother's house and I could see the fireworks going off in downtown Seattle. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. But,
well,
but I'm not sure. I'm not the biggest Seahawks fan. So, yeah.
We'll see.
Pretty exciting. You going to go?
No, I'm not going, but I'll keep tabs on it.
For sure. All right, we've got some good weather to take us through the weekend, so get your chores done early so you can park it in front of the TV on Sunday, right, and watch the game. It's beautiful outside right now, and what time is it? It's 5:42, and we still have light in the skies. The days are getting noticeably longer now compared to, a month ago. Scattered high clouds from our reserve golf course Skycam, our Explorer Tualatin Valley Skycam. This is a good area to look for the northern lights, if not tonight, future events, because, and I'm not saying go onto the golf course, I think that would be trespassing, but out in Washington County where you can get away from city lights, that is my point. 41 degrees right now, and wow, now that the sun has gone down, the temperature is going to drop like a rock like it did last night. It dropped all the way down to 22 in Vancouver, 23 in Scappoose, 24 over in Hillsborough, 23 in McMinnville, so it was a cold night. Even the Portland airport dropped to 25 because what happened is the east winds backed off and they elevated a bit and just kind of rolled right over the top. So it allowed the surface temperatures to really, really drop. Meanwhile, in Troutdale, it stayed windy, so they were a full 10 degrees warmer overnight than Portland. Also 23s for Salem, Corvallis, and Eugene, 14 in Sun River, 8 in Burns. I think that's the first time we've seen single digits on the map so far this winter, which is kind of amazing, actually. All right, our high was 50 in Hillsborough, 51 Scappoose, Portland 48, not bad. You can see where the cool air is pooled east of the Cascades and 20s and 30s there. The color shows where the wind is blowing, and yes, we still have it, but that footprint really diminishes as we go into really tomorrow night and then Thursday. The east winds all but end before they ramp back up a little bit as we go into Friday and the weekend, but they won't be as strong as they are right now, and they have been strong. Again, for the second day in a row, Corbett had a peak gust of 74 miles an hour, Crown Point 69, east side of Troutdale 62, the Glen Jackson Bridge a gust of 35, and up the West Hills again gusts over 30 miles an hour, so it's been rock and roll. So the scattered high clouds I showed you coming up from the south, we still have high pressure here controlling our weather. And it's not going to change too much over the next couple of days, and when it does change, it's not a very favorable change. We're not going to suddenly see storms bust on in like we did a couple weeks ago. So we remain with mainly dry weather. I think our next best chance of any rain will be Monday of next week. This pattern is interesting. If this develops, it's going to get wet, but we'll wait and see. A lot of inconsistency in our models going forward. 41 right now, freezing level 11,600 feet. The coast will be beautiful again. Mostly clear tonight, sunshine tomorrow, low 50s. If you want to look for the northern lights, again, after 10 p.m., there's a chance. It's not as good of a chance as what we had last night, however. Up in the Cascades, sunny and mild in the 40s at the ski areas. Lows in the 30s or warmer than it is down low, hence the word or the phrase temperature inversion. Sunny above the valley, fog down to 20 in Bend and high in the 20s, 28 for the high at Pendleton tomorrow. In the gorge, east winds continue to blow at the west end of the gorge, but gusting only to about 45 miles an hour. And we'll be clear, some frost down in the southern valley, otherwise sunny and 29 for the low, 50 for the high. 47 on Thursday, upper 40s right on through the week, and we finally have some showers in the forecast on Monday of next week. We're back after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
To a rescue in Virginia now where a man jumped into the water to save a driver's life.
Derek Lytle explains why he believes the chance encounter was meant to be.
A loud crash and water thundering against the restaurant patio.
Sitting here having lunch, and there's a large splash against the windows that was way higher than it should have been.
Jeremy Way, sitting down for lunch, realized a car had driven off the boat ramp and into the water between two restaurants, Bubba's and the back deck on Shore Drive. He asked another customer if there was a person inside and immediately sprung into action.
I already started pulling my wallet, my phone, my knife out of my pocket. And once I realized that the car was about 15 meters in, I was like, I just jumped in.
Hey, go to the back! Tony Clark to the back! Go to the back!
Desperate calls from onlookers as they watched Way and three others try to break the windows and free the woman trapped in the sinking car. Way says the driver told him through the window she no longer wanted to live.
She's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, it took, leave me. She tried locking the doors initially.
As they continued fighting the clock and breaking down the car windows, Way gave words of encouragement to the woman that it was not her time to die.
Water started flooding in the inside and flooding in where she was.
Oh, God! Oh, no! Jesus! No, no!
The car vanishes from view as people watch in horror. Then, a breakthrough. Way and others successfully pull her to safety.
Thank you, Lord! No! Jesus!
Moments before it was too late.
And then somebody threw me a rope, and then I just held on to her until we got all the way into the boat, until I got sent to the boat.
A higher purpose in all of this. Remarkably, Way is a Navy Aviation Rescue swimmer who just happened to choose this spot to grab a bite to eat. He says he believes he was meant to be there so that woman could have a second shot at life.
Out to get some lunch. It was meant to be, man. I'm an aviation rescue swimmer. I was here for a reason, so others may live. It's our motto.
Derek Lytle with that report. A reminder that if you or someone you know needs help, there is always someone to talk to. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is there on your screen. It is available 24/7. Just dial 988. We'll be right back.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The excitement is ramping up. The Winter Olympics getting underway 2 weeks from this Friday. And it's not just athletes, by the way, who will be in the spotlight.
Time to get on a plate here. We're talking about the culinary scene in the host country. Scott Son and photojournalist Steve Rhodes take us there.
When they book, they think it's a cooking class. What they got is a little bit more than a cooking class. You have the hug, the end of personal space. What are you doing? You have the mess. Yelling. They're not yelling, they're speaking, you know, it's just our tone of voice. They have the experience of cooking with the nonna. That can be dangerous. And eating with the nonna, that can be dangerous too, because she will feed you until it will explode. Hello, my name is Chiara, and welcome to Palombara Sabina. I grew up here in this village, and 8 years ago, I started this project called Handmade Pasta with Grandma. I showed a picture with my phone, and I posted that on the social media, and I wrote, hey, who wants to cook with Grandma today? What I didn't expect is that the word answered. Suddenly we have people walking in our streets in the middle of nowhere in Italy, looking for the pasta grandma. That it was my grandma. And I remember I asked her, oh Nonna, do you mind if I let these people in? And she said, open the door. There were the other grandmas around the neighborhood, because here everybody knows each other. And they started to casually knock at our door when there were our American tourists inside and say, I know how to make pasta, me too. And I say, okay, come in. All the grandmothers, they started to be part of this project, and so it became like a community business.
Benvenuti. Welcome, chef. Welcome in Grandma's kitchen.
Then we were asked to have a TV show.
The nonni are coming to New York.
And we were asked to bring our format around the world. A lot of these grandmas, they never left the village before. And now we're going around. never under control. There's no way you stop them from saying what they think, from doing what they want. It's just too fun. And 2 years ago, when she passed, at the beginning it was too painful for me. And then, as the news spread of her death, I received thousands of emails from people from all over the world when they told me how this day with my grandma changed their life. And I felt that my community was not my village anymore. My community was the world. And I found her again in all the classes that we take every day. Okay, with the palm of your hand, let it roll under your hand. Really good. The grandmas can be really jealous of their dough and their own pasta because the result is really important. If a grandma gives you the possibility to touch her dough, that means they're really creating a moment that lasts forever. Making pasta together means being part of a family. I think that once you get an Italian family, you cannot lose it, if you want or not.
Ciao ragazzi, ciao! How beautiful. Excited about the Olympics, but so glad we get to learn a little bit about their culture.
One moment creating so many memories. Stick around, another full hour of news is straight ahead.